Yeah!
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what is that construction? What is that structure in the already fucked up? What is that structure out there in the middle of the Utah desert? And dog versus gator versus man, and the update on that as well, and everything you need to know about this Thanksgiving, and also Rodney's inspirational quotes that could help us all get through these troubling times. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? You doing okay? Are you ready? This is it. This is the grand what's going to determine if we get through this whole coronavirus thing or we don't get through this whole coronavirus thing. News reports and everything is coming out that's saying Thanksgiving is the do or die as far as what's going to happen to us. And I'm sure we're all going to be fine. I'm sure we're all going to be okay. We'll see little pockets of stuff here and there. But, you know, if everyone just follows the rules and does what everyone's supposed to do, we should be okay. All right? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Believe me, we'll be fine. So we are here at the French. We have, I've told the story many times the past couple of weeks that her nieces are coming up, and her sister-in-law and newlywed is coming up with her husband and a little dog, little nip dog, yip dog, or whatever it's called. They're coming up here. They left Florida this morning, 7 a.m., and it's usually 8 hours door to door if you drive straight through. Of course, you've got 4 girls and a yip dog. They'll probably take them, I think, probably close to 10 and a half hours to 12 hours. I gotta pee this time. The dog's gotta, oh my God, the dog just threw up. The dog, what? Pull over. You know, it's all pull over, eat, pull over, pee. Pull over, shit, pull over and do all that stuff. But they should be up here probably about 4 o'clock this afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. But in the meantime, I've been prepping the house and preparing the house. You know, you need this once in a while. Have, you know, this influx of family and stuff to come over here just to pick up the stuff that you keep walking by all the time. You know, that sock that's sitting on the chair. It's just a sock sitting on the chair. First of all, how'd the sock get on the chair? I don't know. I took my socks off and, you know, you fling them off your feet and sometimes they hit the lampshade and sometimes they land on the chair and you just leave it there. The lampshade you got to take off. That could be a fire hazard. But you're getting the house ready. I've mopped the floors. We have hardwood floors throughout the whole entire establishment here. So mopped all the hardwood floors, shampooed what carpets need to be shampooed, the ones that the dogs kind of rub their faces in, shampooed all those. And I say shampoo, you know, carpet steamer. It's not really shampoo like shampooing your hair. It's the carpet steamer thing. So did a couple of those. You know, we have 3 full baths here on the property. Only one of them, maybe 1.5 of them get used. The other one doesn't get used a whole lot, so you got to go in there and knock the cobwebs down off the other bathroom and wipe the toilet seat and wipe the stuff around it. You know, all the stuff when you have family or friends. I don't know, maybe your friends don't care, but family, I'm very judgmental. My wife hates it. I am very judgmental as far as when I walk into someone's house, I'm like going, ooh, they didn't, if this is the way they have their house, when someone comes over, how do they normally live? And you just kind of, I don't know, that's just me. So I know I take that in consideration and, you know, mop the carpets, vacuum the carpets. You know, you got candles burning in every room. Not that the house stinks or anything, but, you know, you've got your own funk. We've been locked in our houses for so long. You know, I walk around without the deodorant on and sit in a chair now and then. Maybe my funk got on the chair. So all the stuff that you do to prep and to get ready for the holiday season, and then what happens? It's over like in a blink of an eye. The government says they want you to be done in 2 hours. Hey, eat your food, get out, and get on down the road. Now, that's great for kids out there that have to do multiple Thanksgiving parties. Or is it bad? Hey, we got to go to our in-laws' house. You know, see you later. But now you're exposing yourself as you migrate from Thanksgiving party to Thanksgiving party and so on and so forth. So here at the French, I think we're completely, I was literally moving furniture around, picking up stuff, sweeping stuff, all the way up until we came on the air here at the Bring You Joy studio here in Marshville, North Carolina, which is a beautiful town outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So everything, I think, is done. Now, my wife's job, because she's working, she's doing her thing. Hold on. Turkey in the oven. So my wife's job is to do the beds. I've washed the linens. I've washed all the bedding in all the spare bedrooms, get them ready because the in-laws, her side of the family, the nieces and stuff are going to stay here, I think, till Saturday. So Thanksgiving's on Thursday, day on Friday, and then leave Saturday sometime leisurely and go back to Florida. So her job is to take care of the bedrooms. I've vacuumed. I've done everything. I don't make the beds. I'm sorry. I don't make beds. I'll pull the sheets down, the fitted sheet down. I'll do that. To get that going, because I hate sleeping on wrinkled sheets. But her job is to, one, put away the laundry, which she has spent, half hour here, 45 minutes here, in between her phone calls and stuff, folding it up and getting ready to she's got to put it all away and get the laundry room cleaned up, because right now the dining room table, which we're going to eat at, has folded laundry on it. Don't tell them that, but you guys know what I mean. That's people, you have a folding station. Usually it's some kind of dining room table, or if you're luxurious enough, you have a pool table. I know some people that have stuff on their pool table in the house somewhere. But once everything's all said and done, and you're sitting down and you're relaxing, you're oh man, we have done so much. This happened to us the other day. When I say the other day, on Sunday. Now, I told you the story. I just said, we cleaned everything. And, the refrigerator, you kind of wipe it out. You wipe the bottom down where you dripped out stuff. You kind of wipe where the milk sits, that big drawer there. You kind of wipe off everything. Just, you wipe it out a little bit. So when someone goes to grab for a soda, they don't see like a little crust of cheese, like a fermented cheese that's fallen out or something like that. So I had everything all cleaned up. It's a stainless steel refrigerator, so you get everything wiped off. Kitchen's done. That's my area of expertise. Everything is done in the kitchen, ready for Thanksgiving cooking time. Now, my wife and I were sitting there. I forget when it was. It was Sunday morning, I think. And we're discussing everything that we're going to do. And she's on that side of the island with the sink on it. And I'm on this side of the island, the eating side. And I'm finishing up my breakfast as she's cooking hers. And I'm sitting there, and she gets a drink out of the refrigerator. And when I say drink out of the refrigerator, you ever seen like those big, huge mason jars that you can put like tea or lemonade or something? They're kind of countrified looking. And it's got the little flip down at the bottom. It's got the little flip spout. You kind of you flip it over and everything comes out, and you flip it back, and it's on the bottom of the jar. Well, she has that. She's like, oh, this is country. We've had it for a couple weeks or a couple months now. And she's like, oh, this is so country. This fits our motif and stuff. Of course, live in the country. Don't have to be country, but all right. So I make her, she drinks Crystal Light. I'm like, all right, so I'll make your Crystal Light all the time, and we'll put it in the refrigerator. And sometimes it drips. You catch it and it kind of drips, so that's why we had to wipe the refrigerator out. A little red dot here and there, because she likes the fruit punch flavor of Crystal Light. So you got to wipe that up and clean that up and go on about your day. So we're sitting there having breakfast. She goes over to the refrigerator and she fills up a little bubble cup, and with the fruit punch thing, closes the door, and I can hear the laundry going, and we're sitting there discussing day's activities or what we're gonna do. All of a sudden we hear this like this steady drum, and then it goes. Then it slows down, and I'm thinking, so I go check on the washer or the clothes, the washing machine, the dryer, and then I'm like, well, the ice maker's been making funny noises, so I put my ear to the ice maker, and then it stops. I go, well, I open up it's a side by side, so I look at the ice maker, No, everything's fine. I open up the other side, and what has happened is something I was not prepared for. And what I was not prepared for was that the fruit punch that I just made, gallon and a half jug, in this glass container with the little flippy spot on the bottom, when you close the door, sometimes the tall thing of salad dressing pushes, if you don't push the jar back into the refrigerator all the way, hits that little flippy up and down lid, little flippy disperse lid, and opens it up. Well, it opened up, and this is, where do you put your stuff? All your big 1 gallon things, right in the middle in the refrigerator, like it's at elbow or hip length, hip height on the shelf. It opened up and spilled all over all the stuff in the door. All the little caddies in the door were full. All the drawers down below with all the Thanksgiving stuff. All the zucchini and the lettuce and the celery and whatever we had in the drawer. And then the very bottom drawer's got meat. So all the meat, like the bacon and the sausage and stuff for stuffing and for breakfast, is the whole entire 1.5 gallons dumped out in the refrigerator in a matter of 8 minutes. And so now it's panic mode. Now it's panic mode because everything's full of this red liquid. Red! Stain red liquid is now being, and I'm like going, this is the last thing I wanted to do, is to clean it. And she's apologized. And we've had this happen before, but we've caught it. Like, hey, did you, and I've gone behind her and opened the door and, hey, this is leaking. Whoops, wipe it up. And, let's be careful when we keep this in here. Sure enough, it dumped the whole entire thing out, and we couldn't hear it because the washing machine was going in the other room and the dryer was going, and we had all this other stuff on our mind. So needless to say, all Sunday morning from probably 9 to 11:30 was literally dumping the whole entire refrigerator. It needed to be done. We didn't need to do it that day, but it needed to be done, and wipe down every shelf from top to bottom. We didn't leave out anything. Dumped everything, all the salad dressings and the ketchup bottles and the mustard things had the red liquid immersed in it. Had to rinse all those out, set them on towels. We had the whole entire fridge dumped. But, it needed to be clean. But I'm sitting there, she's apologizing. I felt bad. She's apologizing left and right. Babe, I'm so sorry. Babe, I understand. It's okay. It's okay. This is the last thing I wanted to do today because we had so much other stuff going on. But needless to say, we got it all cleaned up. So now we have a brand new refrigerator and everything. I mean, everything. Even the stuff in the very back where the water coil is in the back, that's all cleaned out. So the house is clean, and I'm going to show them the goddamn refrigerator because we spent 2.5 hours cleaning that refrigerator. They better look at the damn refrigerator when they come over. Look how clean this is. Sure is this clean? It should be. It takes 2.5 hours. Have wet towel will travel type deal. All right, when we come back, we'll get into the show here and discuss everything that's been going on, and hopefully you guys will have a great Thanksgiving, and we're going to try to make it better for you here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contact section, and you'll see all the links and stuff to how to follow us, how to see us, how to do all the stuff that makes us part of you and you to us. As we broadcast to you from the Bring You Joy studio, go to bringyoujoy.world for more information on that. Now, it was the last thing. That was the last thing that I wanted to see was this whole refrigerator full of red liquid to cleaning out. And I hope your Thanksgiving goes a little bit better. Now, some of us still have to work. Some of us still have to do our normal daily activities. And one of the things is, for these guys, their daily activity is to check on the Longhorns, the Rams and stuff out there in Utah. Now, in the process of flying around, they fly around, check on the animal population, make sure everyone's running okay. They came across a strange object in the middle of the Utah desert. Doesn't belong there. Not supposed to be there. Here's a story right now about this mysterious metal monolith discovered in the Utah desert. And the way you see this, for every podcast that we do, has a matching video called Under the Tent that goes along with every podcast. So make sure you click on that as well.
Captain's log, stardate 11/18/2020. The crew of the Utah DPS helicopter traveled to southern Utah on a mission to count bighorn life forms with wildlife officers.
And he's like, whoa, 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 turn around. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's this thing back there. We got to go look at it.
The crew had spotted an object of unknown origin on the red surface.
Okay, the intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form.
In the middle of the barren desert stood a mysterious metal monolith.
I would say it's probably between 10 and 12 feet high. We were kind of joking around that if one of us suddenly disappears, then I guess the rest of us make a run for it. So.
Now, this is straight out of the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, where in the beginning there was a big monolith on the ground, and all the monkeys were like beating themselves in the head with it. It's kind of like the same thing. Now, they don't know how long it's been there.
Pilot Brett Hutchings says it didn't look like it was dropped there. It was firmly planted into the ground.
We're like thinking, okay, is this something like NASA stuck up there or something? Are they bouncing satellites off it or something?
It seemed less scientific and more artistic.
I'm assuming it is, some new wave artist or something, or somebody that just is a big
yeah, but how long has it been out there? That's the thing. Here's
the similarity to the space movie was unmistakable, as was the bizarre effect it had on observers.
It just was kind of unusual and stuff.
The universe is filled with the unexplained. And this journey to southern...
All right, this guy's getting a little... Wilson Wong, get over yourself. But yeah, there's this big, huge metal thing right out in the middle of the Utah desert. And if you ever seen the Utah desert, it's beautiful. It's kind of like the painted desert. It's red. It's very, very distinguished rocks as far as their colors and stuff. But yeah, they found this big metal thing stuck in the ground. They still don't know what happened with it. And how long it's been there. But if you look at the video, it looks like it's been there for quite some time. Pranksters. Pranksters out there. Now, we switch gears and go all the way from Utah to Alaska. Have you guys ever been to Alaska? It's one of those forgotten lands, those forgotten... forgotten landscapes, forgotten states that we have. I mean, there's actually people that live in Alaska. Now, in small communities, of course, but keep this in mind, there are still people that live in Alaska. Now, one of the things that you might not know is if you live in Alaska, they actually pay you to live in Alaska. And when I say that, you have to live there for 1 full year. And I'm making all this up. No, I'm not making it up. This is true. Because Alaska produces so much oil, they have so much revenue, they actually disperse it between all the residents there. And it's kind of like a seniority thing. You have to live there for so long before you start getting checks from the actual government. And they can range anywhere from $1,000 on up to, I think, $5,000. But they pay the people to live in Alaska because of the oil that they produce and they export out to everyone else. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be a long, long night here starting this week, going all the way to January 22nd. Right now in Barrow, Alaska, starting at 5:50 or 5:29, the sun will not be visible until 5:16 on January 22nd. 64 days from now. That means Alaska will be in the dark for 64 days. So this whole Thanksgiving, all of Christmas, all the way to New Year, past my birthday, by the way, and all the way up until February, Barrow, Alaska will be in the dark. Now, things still produce or still go on as normal, and there's a great movie based on the time change or the sun change. It's called Insomniac, I think, with Al Pacino. He's a detective, and he can't get any sleep. So if you want to know what actually goes on there based in a movie, which, of course, all movies are true. It's a movie called Insomniac, and it's got Al Pacino, and he's a detective looking for a murderer in Alaska. So, yeah, in Barrow, Alaska, they're getting ready now to go 64 days straight with no sun, just straight darkness. Now, I say no sun. It's not like you can't put your hand in front of your face. It's that moon glow. Sometimes you'll have a moon glow, or you ever been in an open field? No, Deacon, just you, your property there. If you ever been in an open field, and there's no sun, you have that cosmic glow to everything. That's what they're dealing with right now. So Alaska will now be starting 64 days of straight night. It's been a hard day's night out there. And when we come back, we'll discuss. And when we come back, we'll get into a story about a guy who actually had a hard day's night, or a hard day in general, protecting his dog from his little old dog from a gator in Florida. Of course, this story comes straight from Florida if it involves a gator. So you're listening to Deacon Live. Stick around. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Deacon Live. If you want to be part of the show at any time, all you have to go to is Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on there's a little blue bar at the very bottom of the page. It says Be Heard. Click on that, and you can leave a voicemail. Come straight to our inbox here, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Whether you're listening to us now, or if you want to talk about something a couple days ago, weeks ago, doesn't matter. Click Be Heard, opens up a microphone, comes right here to the studio. We are broadcasting from the Bring You Joy studio, straight out of... right out of Marshville, North Carolina, a beautiful little town just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina as well. And let me start all that over because that's... Welcome back to Deacon Live. If you'd like to be part of the show, it's very easy to do. Just go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little blue bar that says Be Heard. Opens up a microphone on your tablet, your PC, your phone, and you can talk right into that. It sends it right here to our email address. You can be anonymous. You can make up your own name if you want. I don't care. And we'll play it on the very next podcast. If you want to talk about this podcast or any podcast that we've talked about or discussed here in the past several years, you could do that as well. Be part of the show. We'd like to hear from you. We broadcast to you just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, and from the Bring You Joy studio. Go to bringyoujoy.world for more information on that. Now, with all these hurricanes and storms, hopefully we're done. Hopefully we're done with hurricanes. Hopefully we're done with storms. I hope we're doing okay. Hope everyone's surviving. Now, here's the thing. When you got all that water moving around and the storm surge comes closer and closer in the towns, this town, after Tropical Storm Ada swept across North Florida earlier this month, beachgoers made an awesome discovery while walking on the beach in St. Augustine, Florida. Peeking through the sand dunes of Crescent Beach were timbers likely belonging to a shipwreck dating back to the 1800s. So this guy was walking on the beach in Crescent Beach, Florida, which is just south of St. Augustine, saw like all these wood timbers and stuff sticking out of the sand dunes and said, hey, what's that? And sure enough, it ended up being this old abandoned, not that anyone owns it, it's a shipwreck dating back to the 1800s. How cool is that if you came across that? Say, hey man, it's some old driftwood and stuff. No man, that's an actual ship. Holy ship. I don't know if he got anything for... That'd be awesome if he got anything for finding the thing. Could have been anyone. I guess anyone out there running around. Now, I know most of us are running around crazy. Thanksgiving time, we don't know what to do. With the families coming in, what are you going to have? Mask on, sitting at the table 6 feet away, 6 feet apart. We're in this turmoil of what to do. Is this going to be the biggest implosion or explosion of the coronavirus or not? Time will tell. I'll tell you what, this guy, I'll tell you what. Listen to me. I've been watching King of the Hill. Can you tell? For all those out there that need just a little bit of inspirational hope, Rodney Norman, if you're not familiar with him, he's got some inspirational words for all you out there to get you through these hard times.
Hello and welcome to today. I take this opportunity to say that if you're seeing this video, it means that you're still alive. And so you can still, do stuff. So you should just, take a minute and go, okay. There's there's a lot of craziness going on in my life, but I can deal with it. 'Cause I'm still here. I got nothing else to do except deal with stuff, so I'm just gonna deal with it. Okay, so have a super awesome day. Bye.
Thanks, Rodney. That's Rodney Norman. If you haven't seen him, his videos are becoming famous. He's just old, wigged out, old gray-haired guy, just kind of talking. First of all, he's got a cell phone. Second of all, he's got a Facebook page. Third, he knows how to do a Facebook Live thing. So I don't know if it's a hijinks or anything, but it's inspirational. Now, here's an inspirational story for you. If you're not familiar with this, in Florida, alligators, you always say, oh, alligators, they're so cool. Look at them and stuff. That big alligator that walked across the golf course, you always see that. This man right here had a little puppy. His little puppy was named Gunner. And unfortunately, Gunner was attacked by a baby alligator. It was probably about 5-6 feet long. And camera catches everything. And the way you see this is go to prophetradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see every video based on every podcast that we do. So here you go. This is from...
It was a wild encounter that took a terrifying turn in Florida. Surveillance video shows the moment Richard Wilbanks jumped into action after an...
Now, warning, you're going to hear it's a puppy. He's like 3 months old, like one of those little terrier dogs with the big floppy ears. You're going to hear the dog yelp, so just warning you, sensitive ears out there. It's going to pull at your heartstrings.
Alligator grabbed his puppy Gunner, dragged the dog into the water behind his house.
Adrenaline kicked in, and I just went right in the water after the gator and Gunner.
For nearly 20 seconds,
you can hear the gator and everyone grunting.
It was a wrestling match between man and gator. Richard with what appears to be a cigar in his mouth the entire time.
Mama hit me and didn't even drop the Marlboro out of her mouth.
Gunner's life on the line. In the end, Richard was able to pry Gunner from the small predator's grip, allowing the dog to say,
"There he goes.
Later, gator."
Oh, it was just a shock. It happened so fast that, So
the gator had like the little puppy dog by the hind quarter and stuff. So
instinct.
And then,
just took over.
3-month-old Gunner managed to escape with only a small wound. Richard ended up with some cuts on his hand.
Yeah, Richard stuck his hands into the alligator's mouth. And, of course, that's the worst part. Anyone who lives in Florida knows they're more powerful closing than they are opening. Now, here's an update. Good news. Here's Gunner. Oh, look at 3-month-old puppy saved from the gator. Look at him. Meet Gunner. A Cavalier King Charles Spaniel snuggled up right next to Richard and their first meeting when they got him from a breeder in Miami. Now, Richard took him home, fell in love with him and stuff like that. Now, here's what happened. After that, immediately following the attack, Gunner was in shock, of course. Once Richard was able to pry Gunner free, the gator clamped down on his hands, and he had to free himself now. After a quick home fix on Richard's hands, Gunner went to the animal hospital where doctors found a puncture wound, and they x-rayed him and found a little bit of water in his lungs, only because the dog was held underwater. But the puppy should stay in the hospital for a few days until it gets a full recovery. Please let you know that everyone is fine. Gunner's fine. Richard is fine. And the alligator, for the most part, is, I don't know if they've gotten rid of it, but what they've done is where Richard lives, they're showing mating habits because his property backs up to a marshland. They stick cameras out there, and that's what happened. The camera that was sitting out there, like if you track deer and stuff like that, they put those out there, and the camera captured Richard going out there to save his little puppy out there, Gunner. Poor Gunner. But everyone's good. So I know you guys are worried about him. And if you weren't worried about him, hey, it's a good feel-good story. Now, when we come back, we'll start getting into the feel-good stories, getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting ready for Turkey Day. You got the table cleared off. You got all the laundry off the table. You got all the dishes washed. And, well, do you need dishes this year? I don't know. The CDC is saying throw away everything right after you're done with Thanksgiving. All your dishes, throw the crock pot away, throw everything away once family leaves. And we'll get into that here in just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You guys ready for Thanksgiving yet? Of course you are. Or, of course, hopefully you are. Now, if you're watching this here on Deacon Live, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. We are broadcasting from the Bring You Joy studio just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshall. You can see one of my wife's throwaway shirts that I'm wearing. When I say my wife went through my closet the other day and cleaned out a bunch of shirts that she doesn't like, or she you don't wear these anymore. So over there on the casting couch, I've got a whole bunch of shirts and stuff. So every episode, I put on a new shirt. And if you like it, hey, down in the comments below, make sure you say yes or no. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and you can see me in the studio. Hi, how are you? Doing all right. I'm doing okay. And hopefully Little Gunner's doing better as well. Now, we're getting into the holidays, and I know I spent 20 years at Home Depot. I remember that Home Depot used to give us every year during this time, during Thanksgiving, they give us a little voucher or actually not a voucher. They would give us either a ham or a turkey, and they would do that every year. Now, a lot of companies out there, because of the pandemic, is not doing a whole lot as far as either they're shutting down or they just don't have the funds and stuff for giving bonuses. And you hate to see that. You hate to say that. But right now, Delta Airlines, they appreciate everyone that's held on and kept the company afloat there. Delta gives all of its employees 2 free flights to go anywhere in the world. Let's see. Including those that left the company during the pandemic. So there you go. Delta is now giving away 2 for their employees. So that's how they were paying their employees. And that's good. That's kind of good news. You know, the airline, I know it's suffering right now. They're trying to put that 737 MAX back in the air. I wouldn't trust that. I'm sorry, I wouldn't trust them. Another thing I don't trust is those companies out there that say, hey, come shop with us, and for every $10 you spend with us, we'll donate it to blank and blank charity. I've never understood that. I've never understood why they would do that. And then they say up to $1 million. And do me a favor, just give the $1 million away, give to whatever charity, and it's all a ploy, it's all a gimmick. I think it's very shallow when I hear companies do that. Hey, shop at Target, and for every $10 that you spend, we'll give the whatever charity up to $1 million. I hate that. It sounds very shallow. It sounds very, I don't know. It irks me. It irks me for some reason. You know how I can feel better? I can feel better if I had another of Rodney's inspirational quotes.
Hello. So I'd just like take this opportunity to let you know that regardless of all the horrible, terrible things going on in your life, regardless of all the mistakes that you've made, I just want you to know that nobody else is really paying attention to what's going on in your life. They're too worried about themselves to be worried about you. So if you're like sitting there thinking, oh, I'm such an embarrassment, not really. Everybody's too worried about being embarrassing themselves to notice that you're an embarrassment. So everybody else is pretty much messed up too. So you got that going for you. So, alright. So have a super awesome day with all your failures and stuff.
Thanks, Rodney.
It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Thanks, Rodney.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Rodney. Thank you very much. Oh, God. Gold. Audio gold there, Rodney Norman. Now, you guys are ready for Thanksgiving, right? You got everything all lined up. You got everything ready to go. What if you decide not to go spend time with your family? Now, I think it's 21% of the United States said that they changed their actual... They're changing their actual habits during this Thanksgiving time. 29% of people said that they will not be seeing people in other than their immediate household. 24% said they were having smaller dinners than they originally planned, and 1 in 4 said they will no longer celebrate the festivities at all. Now, for that 1 in 10 that doesn't want to celebrate the festivities at all, what do you do? Well, Publix has answered that, and Publix is a huge market chain, food market chain here throughout the South, and they're working their way back to you. I think my honest opinion is the further they get away from Florida, the worse I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, the worse that their products and their produce is getting to be, unless they can figure out a way to put a warehouse somewhere closer by. So Thanksgiving right now is actually doing meals for one at Publix. This is from a Facebook post from a good friend of ours. A few weeks ago, I noticed that Publix was doing meals for one. I immediately jumped on it for days that I'm kid-free. Today, I introduced a new menu, basically Thanksgiving for everyone, or for one, sorry. Thanksgiving for one. Because I love Thanksgiving and decided to treat myself to a little preview of Thursday, of what's coming up on Thursday, I'm fortunate that I had the opportunity to really enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with my family. But Publix, man, they outdid themselves, so I am happy, and I'm feeling kudos to our own Southern grocer is Publix, doing a Thanksgiving meal for one. So if you go to Publix right now, they've got a meal for one for Thanksgiving, and don't feel embarrassed. Grab 2, so you can have leftovers, right? Grab 2, grab 3, because you don't want to feel pathetic. But if you feel real down low, you can listen to Rodney Norman. Now, one thing people are doing for Thanksgiving, of course, they're trying to get smaller birds and smaller turkeys because of the less people they're having at their functions. Now, you always try to do something a little crazy. Some people try to do something a little crazy for the Thanksgiving times, or like side dishes and stuff. Are you guys familiar with FunYuns? If you're not familiar with FunYuns, they are like a chip, like a puffed chip that's in a circle like an onion, but it is garlic and onion and salt. Now, this lady right here, Emma Maid, shows you how to deep fry FunYuns. As if you didn't need to add more insult to injury, deep fried FunYuns are a thing.
Today, I'm going to be making deep fried FunYuns. FunYuns are these little deep fried corn onion snacks. So funny. Look at them. Aren't they great? So they look like onion rings. Give them a taste. Super salty. Oh my gosh. It's kind of corn-based flavor and lots of onion powder. So let's go ahead and make this dream a reality and deep fry some FunYuns.
Now, I've had like deep fried Oreos, deep fried Twinkies, and all this stuff. So this young lady here is Emma Maid, is deep frying FunYuns. So here's a recipe, and I'll post the video up on the Prophet Radio website. You can go to PROPHET Radio, click on DeaconLive, and I'll post this as well. So she's doing her whole, sorry, playing this video. Get back to the
FunYuns. FunYuns are these little deep fried.
I'm trying to avoid
cut
the
them
commercial.
into rings for 1 hour, and that will break down the cellular membrane.
Okay, so she's got them out of the tube here, out of the oil, and there's the. She did.
All right, my beautiful lovelies, my onions are complete.
She did regular FunYuns and then regular onion rings at the same time. So she's doing a side-by-side comparison.
I have my traditional onion rings, and I also have my deep fried FunYuns. Itadakimasu.
I don't know what you said.
It tastes like a lot of breading. I don't even taste the FunYun anymore. The FunYun becomes one with the breading, which is amazing. Could you hear that big crunch? Right, while simultaneously being big and crunchy and substantial and not soggy. But what happens is that the FunYun itself kind of just blends into the batter. and it just tastes salty. I don't really taste much of the onion flavor at all.
So what if you were to take the FunYuns and crunch them up and make that part of the batter?
The batter is crisp, but look, you can't even see the Funyun anymore. It just becomes kind of deep fried batter. Although it does still have that delightful appeal of freshly deep fried food, I can't taste the Funyun in there.
So I guess
It's
a big
like an
fail.
onion ring
Big
with
fail on deep fried and Funyuns. But what I say is to add the Funyuns to your actual mix, whatever you're going to do. Like if you're going to do catfish, or if you're going to do chicken or something like that, and you want that Funyun flavor, I think that'd be a better idea than to do just the deep fried Funyuns, because it's like frying dough. Hey, I got pizza dough. Let's fry it and make it taste like fried pizza dough. It's the same thing over and over. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. So there you go. There's a trick you can do. I've seen turkeys covered with what's it, hot flavored Cheetos? Yeah. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try that. I want to try it so bad. My wife won't let me. No, you can't have that. You can't have that. Now, something you can't have is, well, you can have home delivery. Have you guys ordered food before? Like from, with everyone being trapped at home and the COVID virus is, I don't want to scare anyone any more than they have to. But I mean, a lot of people are doing the Instacart and the ships and not the DoorDash, but everyone's doing that. Go pick up the food for me and bring it home. I'm less likely to contact anything if you bring it into my house. So the question is, how did a 3-year-old pizza get delivered by Instacart? Now, Instacart, I'm sorry, your name's in this article, so I have to call you out on this. Let's see if I can pronounce her name. Agneta, Agneta. Anita? I don't know. Yeah, why can't they just... And her last name is Yilmaz. Yilmaz? Let's say Yena Nilmaz. That's the best I can do. Has turned to Instacart to handle her shopping during the pandemic. She trusted the company to deliver fresh groceries from the nearby Rouse, which is a supermarket chain. And she was very pleased with her service until now. So when the Beverly Hills resident, of course Beverly Hills, recently opened a box of Celeste frozen pizza, so Celeste, you're in this as well, she realized that the pizza she was giving her 4-year-old granddaughter was shocked to see that the expiration date was from December 12th of 2017. She said it was 3 years ago. Also said, ew. Of course she said, ew. So the question is, one, Ralph's spokesman acknowledged the incident that said the company is stepping up for efforts to make sure that the food... Now, if you're in Beverly Hills and you're not making sure that your pizzas and stuff aren't, or any food is not expired, this is an unusual situation, they say. Spokesman for Ralph's. And generally speaking, it reports that expired food is being delivered to people's homes that are infrequent and a little less. A spokesperson from Celeste Pizza said, "This is the first such incident she has heard about." Yeah, you know why? Because you're so high, or people are so high sometimes, they just eat the pizza. We had to throw away a couple things in the cabinet. As we're going through the pantries and stuff and figuring out what we need for Thanksgiving, oh, this is expired. And I'm like, have we opened that yet? Have we opened it? Is it still good? It's kind of good, right? So be careful what you're getting. And Amazon is also being hit up because they are delivering, I don't want to say expired food, but some of the stuff that's been sitting on the shelves on Amazon. So check your dates. If you're having food delivered to your house, just check the dates before you give them that 20% tip or 10% tip as well. All right, when we come back, let's get into the fun of Thanksgiving and stuff you didn't know about Thanksgiving and stuff that you didn't think that you needed during this Thanksgiving time. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You can follow us anywhere through your social contacts, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts. That was stupid. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social contacts, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts, and while you're there, make sure you like us, share us, do all the stuff that makes us part of you, and you is us as well. We are broadcasting from the Bring You Joy studio, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Go to bringyoujoy.world for more information on that as well. Now, I don't know how you guys are cooking your turkeys. I've done it all different ways this Sunday. I've fried it. I've smoked it. I have put it in the oven. We've done the crock pot. We've done it in the oven. We've done it on the grill. We've done it outside. We've done it inside. We've done all different ways this Sunday. But for those of you out there that like to cook in a crock pot, I have a warning for you. This company right here is recalling almost 1 million crock pots with the story right here.
We've got an important recall to tell you about this morning. Sunbeam is voluntarily recalling nearly 1 million crock pot 6-quart multi-cookers. The company says the cookers...
Now, when they say multi-cookers, they're talking Instapots. They don't want to say Instapots, but it's the Instapot type crock pot system.
Can pressurize when the lid is not fully locked, and that creates a burn hazard. The products in question were manufactured in 2017 and 2018 and sold at multiple retailers, including Walmart, Target, and Amazon. If you want more information, you can go to our website at today.com.
There you go.
We've got...
There you go. So the crock pot Instapot that was so famous, I mean, it went skyrocket, the whole Instapot thing. We have the quote-unquote Instapot brand, but Sunbeam produced one as well, and I guess it was blowing up or doing bad thing. It had a burn spot. It wasn't sealing right. It was burning up and causing a fire. Enough fire to recall or to issue a recall. Now, once everything's all said and done and turkey's done, you're done eating and stuff, there are a couple things that are out there. You know, what's for dessert? What do you do after Thanksgiving? Arby's has come up with the best idea because everyone gets a little sleepy. Everyone gets a little tired after Thanksgiving, and you just want to lay down. You just want to sit down and relax. And
this turkey sandwich season at Arby's.
Arby's has come out with a deep fried turkey pillow. Now, hold on, before you start jumping off skyscrapers and stuff that you think it wasn't possible, listen to the commercial. Here's Arby's new deep-fried turkey pillow.
This turkey sandwich season at Arby's. Fall into the most comfortable turkey sleep of all time with a new Arby's deep-fried turkey pillow. It's a sleep mask and a pillow in one. Order yours today and eat too much turkey anywhere. Night, Arby's.
So if you ever seen that episode of Friends where I don't know, I'm just going by memes and stuff, where what's-her-name's got the turkey on her head and she's shaking it around, they've actually created the same effect with a turkey, and it comes down just over your eyes and stops at your nose so you can still breathe so you don't suffocate while you're sleeping in this thing. And it's a whole complete turkey, fried looking turkey, but it's all pillow, it's all mesh, it's all material. And so you put it on your head and you can lay on a goddamn concrete floor if you want. But you've got a pillow because everything's all fluffy and stuff. So there you go. Arby's is selling the deep fried turkey pillow. Now, what's for dessert? Pumpkin pie is always a good thing for dessert. Let's see, what else? Chocolate pie, any kind of pie, I guess, for dessert. My wife, she makes zucchini bread, which is really good. I mean, it's so sweet. I mean, I made it one time based on her recipe, and I must have put, God, I don't know how many cups of freaking brown sugar in that thing. It's so, and it's so bad for you. Oh, it's zucchini bread. It should be good for you. Nah, it's not good for you. It's got like 14 pounds of sugar in every loaf that you do. So what do you normally have for dessert? Well, Baskin-Robbins now is selling a turkey ice cream cake that looks wildly and realistically like a turkey straight from the oven, but it's an ice cream cake. Everyone knows that turkey is the star of Thanksgiving dinner, even if you eat more stuffing pine. Believe it or not, the limited edition ice cream cake has been around for... The ice cream cake has been around literally since 1970s. However, the shiny, realistic one that they've created in 2008, the turkey-shaped ice cream cake is back, giving Thanksgiving 2020 its bound first dessert to go. See what happens. Oh, they're cutting it. So you've seen those Make It Cake. You've seen those videos where they take it. It's called Make It Cake. Google search that, and you'll be surprised at what they do. But what they do is, for example, they take like a toilet paper, and it's not real toilet paper, but they make a cake that look like toilet paper, and then you cut it, and it's an actual cake. The weirdest one is where they have like wedding showers or baby showers, and they make a cake that looks like a brand new baby sleeping in a bed, and then you take a knife and cut its head, and it's like all cake. So they've made this, traditional turkey looking cake with all the palms on the legs so they don't burn. That's Baskin Robbins is making a turkey for you, a turkey ice cream cake. So if you want something kind of spice up your Thanksgiving, I know that this this is going to come out a little bit later, but keep in mind, Baskin Robbins makes one hell of an ice cream cake. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap up the show and let you guys get back to cleaning your house and wiping off your tables and get ready to throw away all your dishes after this. What are you going to do with all the dishes that you got? Stick around, you're listening to Deacon Live. I'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks. And if you want to be part of the show, you can do that at any given time. Go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. On the very bottom of the page should be a little blue bar, depending on what tablet, phone, or laptop or PC that you have. It says Be Heard. It's a little blue bar. It's got a little microphone next to it. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on your device, and completely anonymous. You can fill out whatever name you want. Hey, I'm Turkey Lurkey Tom. And then leave us a voice message. Comes right here to the podcast. And at any time, on any podcast you want to comment about, and we'll play it on the air and discuss it when we get yours as well here on Deacon Live. Now, a lot of people say, how did Thanksgiving, we are getting further and further from the originality or how Thanksgiving came to be. And a lot of people say, why do we do it this way? Why do we do it that way? And so I just want to give you a couple facts about what Thanksgiving is. Everyone knows about the Pilgrims coming over to Plymouth Rock and all that stuff. But a lot of the history that you might not know is that back in 1827, now the actual date of Thanksgiving is not well known. It could have been anywhere in October, it could have been anywhere in November. People really don't know because they really didn't keep records when they first made landfall here in the United States, or what was going to be the United States. So in 1827, a woman by the name of Sarah Josephia Hale lobbied for Congress for years to make Thanksgiving an official holiday. Now, it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln actually passed that to make it a national holiday. Now, he said it would be the last Thursday in the month of November. Now, in 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt changed the date to Thanksgiving to 1 week earlier to help with buying stuff and more spending money during the holiday season, during the Depression. So in 1941, actually, FDR made a bill making the fourth Thursday in November, no matter what day it landed on, or whether it was the last Thursday of the month or not, the fourth Thursday in the month of November was Thanksgiving. The first Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade in 1924 featured just animals from the Central Park Zoo. So you had like the turkey, you had the giraffe and the kangaroo, and then of course sponsors say, hey, we can make some money doing this. So let's put our logo out there, whether it be, I think Heathcliff was one of the first ones, Betty Boop and all those guys as well. So that's how we've commercialized that as much as possible. Now, what you might not know is Thanksgiving is actually the reason why we have TV dinners. In 1953, Swanson had overestimated how much turkey they would need for the country to consume on Thanksgiving. So they created 260 tons of leftover meat. Using 5,000 aluminum trays in the assembly line, they all hand-packed all the leftover turkey stuff and vacuum sealed them, froze them, and then sold them for 98 cents. The first year's production, they sold 10 million of them. So that was the birth of the prepackaged frozen meal industry. Thanks to Swanson, and thanks to Thanksgiving, and thanks to the turkey leftovers. Now, the original Thanksgiving should have been around 1621, but like I said, times and changes and records weren't really kept. But most of the time, if they would have had that back in that time, it would have been lobster, seals, and swans. They wouldn't have had turkeys and stuff. Benjamin Franklin actually wanted the turkey to be the national state bird. In Canada, they do have a Thanksgiving, but it's completely a little bit different. It's kind of like the way we celebrate a fall harvest festival, and that's what they do in Canada. Now, British, I made a comment last week about how can you have a British guy talking about Thanksgiving. Well, British people actually have what's called Britsgiving, and it's kind of the reverse slap in the face. It's when the Pilgrims left England and the UK to come over here, they kind of celebrated saying, let's have our own celebration that these riffraffs left our country and our company to go over to another place. Football has always been part of Thanksgiving, and since the 1870s, football wasn't considered a professional sport during the Thanksgiving game the traditional look that we always get. But Yale always played Princeton in the first ever Thanksgiving football match. Eventually, the National Football League was founded in 1920, so it began hosting as many as 6 Thanksgiving matches every year. So it's always been part of Thanksgiving since the 1970s. So there are some fun facts for you guys to discuss at the dinner table or during the weekend, or if you just run out of shit to do over the weekend while you got family sitting around, you can just discuss those facts as well. Then when we come back, I got a couple more things, and I'll let you get back to carving your turkey, basting your turkey, and chopping up potatoes and ham. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and also follow our newest podcast. It's called Is This Going Somewhere? And these are darker conversations that I have with my IT guy, and we discuss a lot of things that are going on in the world. We do dive into politics. We do dive into political stuff, religion, and just darker things that are happening in the world that we live in. And I try to keep it off here on Deacon Live. Deacon Live is a lighter conversation for everyone. But go over there to Prophet Radio, click on Is This Going Somewhere? They're darker conversations that I have with IT Dan. And it's pretty funny. You'll learn a lot. He's an older gentleman. He's a very smart man. He's been around the world 15 times, and I can't find my baby. I know that's a bad pun. But listen to him as well. Now, I normally shave and stuff. I do all my hair and makeup to come up here to the studio so you guys can see my smiling face. I've got a brand new haircut. My wife did my hair. I hope you're liking it. I look a lot younger. I don't look as scraggly and straggly as I used to. Not like Rodney Norman, the guy who gave us our inspirational quotes. But I look a little, you know what? I actually look thinner. I look a lot thinner than I normally do. Now that my wife has cut my hair. She did it. She did a great job. If you're looking at it here, let me switch cameras here so you can see me. There you go. How's that look? Look at that. I look good. My beard, my little gator is looking good. Cheeks are looking good. Hair's looking good. Everything's looking good. But my wife takes care of my my trimmings and stuff. I shave and stuff, but now some people will go through extremes. Whoops. Some people will go through extremes to take care of themselves, and guys are no different. No matter if you're light in the loafers or straight up metalhead biker dude, everyone likes to take care of themselves, and this gentleman right here is no different. Now, if you want to watch this on the video here, this is a good one to watch. This gentleman here is getting this guy decided to get his entire head waxed. When I say waxed, I'm talking like the charcoal, the stuff that like sticks for days on your head. So bring all the little kitties around, make sure they have their earmuffs on because there might be a little bit of cussing. Here is this metalhead guy who's got a beard full of dreads getting his head waxed.
What's that? Damn! Ah! No! Horrible mistake.
All right, so here's the beginning.
Get this thing on. Let me at least try to get some of this started. Oh yeah. Oh, I got a nice leg. Woo!
Nice leg.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's bad. That's a baby spot. That's bad.
Ooh.
Put it on my Twitch. That's a baby spot and that hurts. Oh my goodness. Get it, boy. Get that some bullshit in it.
I feel it in my nails, dog.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord.
Hold on. Yes, they do it.
That's the bald spot, too. It ain't hardly no hair there. Oh, God, you better get that motherfucker. Son of a gosh!
Coming too.
God, you better pull that mother. Don't stop! Ah!
Bro, you turning really red.
Oh! Pause. Oh!
Bro, it's good.
Oh, Lord. I can hear every strand releasing. Bro, I think you're busy with that cat. Wow! Oh, that's bad! Damn! God, pull a harder, bitches! Get this shit sour! Side, guys, you suck!
Yo, you wanted it.
Yeah, I did that! Stop! Damn! Stop! Oh, fucking shit! Wow, that hurt. Pause! Pause this! I got to breathe, motherfucker!
If your kids are around, don't have them watching this. This is the most hairiest part.
Ah!
Yeah, you hear that crispiness?
Ah! Son of a gun! I'm never doing it again. I don't think I'm doing it again. No! Oh!
Almost there.
You suck, Lo! Pull it! Damn, I thought them arms was gonna help this deal.
Bro, but you moving.
Ah! Stop! All right, stop. Once again. I had to breathe a second, kid. No! Guys! Damn it!
Let's see the end result.
God. Oh! Oh! I can hear it! I can feel it! Stop! I can't take no more. Hold on, take a break.
Bro, you talking about like a half inch left.
I don't care! Oh!
Now
oh! Not so fast.
No, you got it.
Okay, then. No! John!
Stop, chill out.
You chill out!
Don't get your nail in it.
No,
I'm
trying.
You can't pull on it. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you all. Ow! So.
Oh, yeah. I think you gotta go over it again.
No, we'll never do this again, kid.
There you go. And it looked good. You know, normally when you do that, you get bleeding and stuff. His head didn't bleed at all. But there you go. Don't get your head waxed. Big guys should not get their head waxed. That's why they have the little roller thing on wheels that you shave your head with. All right, on behalf of all you guys downloading us and listening to us, we appreciate each and every one of you. I'd like to get. I'll let you get back to what you got to do. Happy Thanksgiving from everyone here at Prophet Radio and Deacon Live. My name is the Deacon. Saying good night and good night.
Wait! Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Sorry, guys. I rushed that show because family's coming. All right, guys, take care.